What's up internet, Kevin here with TLD. Now as I said back in my Saints Row review, I've been having to do a little bit of catch up with some of the games that came out in November. And one of the last ones that I wanted to review, and I'm sad it took this long to do it, is Rayman Origins. The game plays as a true to form original 2D platformer, with a level structure along the lines of visiting different worlds, each with a number of stages. The game uses the old platformer health system of one hit and you die. You are able to pick up a special heart item that does give you an extra one hit buffer, but even then certain obstacles will still just simply insta-kill you, sending you back to an earlier part of the stage. Now the game does make use of checkpoints, you're not always sent back to the beginning of the stage, and the one thing that keeps this from being actually that difficult is the fact that you do have unlimited lives. So even if one particular part is challenging, you're just going to end up repeating the same small subsection of the stage again and again, rather than occasionally being sent all the way back to the start. Now Origins makes use of a number of different platforming conventions, such as wall running, gliding through the air, swimming underwater, or even becoming tiny in order to fit through different parts of the stage. Players need to master all of these skills in order to perform well, and even though the game is easy due to the use of infinite lives, it still poses a very hard challenge for those of you that want to be completionists. Each stage not only awards players for completing the level, but also for finding hidden areas, collecting so many points, and even completing a special time trial mode that you can do once revisiting a stage. Completing these goals within each stage allows the player to collect little creatures called electoons, that when collected in bulk unlock a number of different things, such as special treasure chest levels, or new costumes for players to use. While just playing through the main storyline and beating the game is easy, players that want to collect as many of these electoons as possible and unlock all the different stuff can find it to be extremely challenging, especially the time trial missions. Now alongside the standard level design, the game does feature a couple of other different level types for players to experience. To begin with, there are the treasure chest levels that I mentioned earlier. What these are special little segments where you have to chase an actual chest of treasure that is running from you because it knows you're about to beat the crap out of it to take what's in it. These missions can be some of the most difficult parts of the game, because unlike the normal levels, it does not use checkpoints. You have to very quickly get through some very tough platforming segments. And in the end, these can be some of the most exciting levels because players really feel accomplished once they're able to beat it. On top of that, a number of levels also feature special segments where you're able to mount and ride little mosquitoes and go through a little flying segment. These are some of the easier parts of the game, although they can be very difficult for people trying to get the highest score possible, and are a really fun little diversion from the normal gameplay. Now, one way for players to make the game a little less challenging, or in some cases more so, is the fact that you can have up to full 4-player co-op. Now, while having additional players does make it a lot harder to die, and a lot easier to get more points or find hidden areas, the game does have a friendly fire feature, which causes teammates to constantly kill or get in each other's ways, sometimes unintentionally. Now, as mentioned earlier, when you collect electoons, you do unlock a number of new costumes, so when you're doing full 4-player co-op, everyone can choose from a variety of different characters, although it should be noted that while all the characters do look different, it's purely a cosmetic change. None of them actually handle or play differently or have any different special abilities. Speaking of cosmetics, this is one of the game's strongest points, offering a very beautiful and gorgeous lush 2D art style that gives a great combination of both beautiful environments and utterly ridiculous looking creatures and items. The game's art style proves that a game does not need to be in 3D in order to be beautiful, and is exceedingly appealing to the eye. Complementing these visuals is the game's utterly ridiculous soundtrack, featuring a number of strange noises and gibberish that somehow comes across as lyrics, which perfectly complements the game's rather strange tone. Overall, Rayman Origins is a fun, wacky, challenging platformer that is a great reminder of what the genre once was. The game is completely ridiculous in its tone, and does a great job of making both single-player and multiplayer fun for very different reasons. Players looking for a challenge will want to tackle the experience all by themselves, but those of you who try out multiplayer will find it to add a whole new level of fun, as you're just constantly hitting your allies and accidentally killing each other left and right. To be honest, this is one of my most favorite games to come out of this holiday season, and sadly it's one that I think is being very overlooked by most gamers, and is well worth picking up for anyone who's a fan of old school platformers. As always guys, thanks for watching our vids. If you haven't got a chance yet, make sure to watch our latest 2 videos, and if you want to be extra awesome, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.